Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are going to be continuing to read Homer's Iliad, as we're getting ever closer to the end of the first set. So let's get going. He said, and rising high above the field, whirled the long lance against the sevenfold shield. Full on the brass descending from above, through 6 bull hides the furious weapon drove, till in the 7th it fixed. Then Ajax through Hector's shield the forceful javelin flew. His corslet enters and his garment rends, and glancing downwards near his flank descends. The wary Trojan shrinks and bending low, beneath his buckler disappoints the blow. From their broad shields the chiefs their javelins drew, then close impetuous, and the charge renew. Fierce as the mountain lions bathed in blood, or foaming boars the terror of the wood. At Ajax Hector his long lance extends, the blunted point against the buckler bends. But Ajax, watchful as his foe drew near, drove through the Trojan targe the knotty spear. It reached his neck with matchless strength impelled, spouts the black gore, and dims his shining shield. Yet ceased not Hector thus, but stooping down, in his strong hand upheaved a flinty stone. Black, craggy, vast, to this his force he bends, full on the brazen boss the stone descends. The hollow brass resounded with the shock, then Ajax seized the fragment of a rock, applied each nerve, and swinging round on high, with force tempestuous let the ruin fly. The huge stone thundering through his buckler broke, his slackened knees received the numbing stroke. Great Hector falls extended on the field, his bulk supporting on the shattered shield. Nor wanted heavenly aid, Apollo's might confirmed his sinews and restored to fight. And now both heroes their broad falchions drew, in flaming circles round their heads they flew. But then by herald's voice the word was given, the sacred ministers of earth and heaven. Divine Talthybius, whom the Greeks employ, and sage Idaeus on the part of Troy, between the swords their peaceful sceptres reared, and first Idaeus' awful voice was heard. Hector and Ajax, separated by the heralds. Forbear, my sons, your further force to prove, both dear to men, and both beloved of Jove. To either host your matchless worth is known, each sounds your praise, and war is all your own. But now the night extends her awful shade, the goddess parts you, be the night obeyed. 184. To whom great Ajax his high soul expressed, O sage, to Hector be these words addressed. Let him who first provoked our chiefs to fight, let him demand the sanction of the night. If first he asked it, I content obey, and cease the strife when Hector shows the way. O first of Greeks, his noble foe rejoined, whom heaven adorns superior to thy kind, with strength of body and with worth of mind, now martial law commands us to forbear. Hereafter we shall meet in glorious war. Some future day shall lengthen out the strife, and let the gods decide of death or life. Since then the night extends her gloomy shade, and heaven enjoins it be the night obeyed. Return, brave Ajax, to thy Grecian friends, and joy the nations whom thy arm defends. As I shall glad each chief and Trojan wife, who wearies heaven with vows for Hector's life. But let us, on this memorable day, exchange some gift that Greece and Troy may say. Not hate but glory made these chiefs contend, and each brave foe was in his soul a friend. With that a sword with stars of silver graced, the baldric studded, and the sheath encased. He gave the generous Greek bestowed, a radiant belt that rich with purple glowed. Then with majestic grace they quit the plain. This seeks the Grecian that the Phrygian train. The Trojan bands returning Hector wait, and hail with joy the champion of their state. Escaped great Ajax, they survey him round, alive, unarmed, and vigorous from his wound. To Troy's high gates the godlike man they bear, their present triumph as their late despair. But Ajax, glorying in his hardy deed, the well-armed Greeks to Agamemnon lead. A steer for sacrifice the king designed, of full 5 years and of the nobler kind. The victim falls, they strip the smoking hide, the beast they quarter, and the joints divide. Then spread the tables and the repast prepare. Each takes his seat, and each receives his share. The king himself, an honorary sign, before great Ajax placed the mighty chine. 185. When now the rage of hunger was removed, Nestor in each persuasive art approved. The sage whose counsels long had swayed the rest, in words like these his prudent thought expressed. How dear, O kings, this fatal day has cost! What Greeks are perished, what a people lost! What tides of blood have drenched Scamander's shore! What crowds of heroes sunk to rise no more! Then hear me, chief, nor let the morrow's light awake thy squadrons to new toils of fight. Some space at least permit the war to breathe, while we to flames our slaughtered friends bequeath. From the red field their scattered bodies bear, and nigh the fleet a funeral structure rear. So decent urns their snowy bones may keep, and pious children o'er their ashes weep. Here where on one promiscuous pile they blazed, high o'er them all a general tomb be raised. Next to secure our camp and naval powers, raise an embattled wall with lofty towers. From space to space be ample gates around, for passing chariots and a trench profound. So Greece to combat shall in safety go, nor fear the fierce incursions of the foe. 'Twas thus the sage his wholesome counsel moved, the sceptred kings of Greece his words approved. Meanwhile, convened at Priam's palace gate, the Trojan peers in nightly council state, a senate void of order and of choice. Their hearts were fearful and confused their voice. Antenor, rising, thus demands their ear: Ye Trojans, Dardans, and auxiliars, hear. 'Tis heaven the counsel of my breast inspires, and I but move what every god requires. Let Sparta's treasures be this hour restored, and Argive Helen her own, her ancient lord. The ties of faith the sworn alliance broke, our impious battles the just gods provoke. As this advice ye practice or reject, so hope success or dread the dire effect. The senior spoke, and sate, to whom replied the graceful husband of the Spartan bride. Cold counsels, Trojan, may become thy years, but sound ungrateful in a warrior's ears. Old man, if void of fallacy or art, thy words express the purpose of thy heart. Thou in thy time more sound advice hast given, but wisdom has its date assigned by heaven. Then hear me, princes of the Trojan name, their treasures I'll restore, but not the dame. My treasures too for peace I will resign, but be this bright possession ever mine. 'Twas then the growing discord to compose, slow from his seat the reverend Priam rose. His godlike aspect deep attention drew. He paused, and these pacific words ensue. And with that, we come to the end of the episode. So, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night, no matter what time of day it is. Oh, excuse me. I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.